Welcome to Franklin County Home Health Agency's Where the Heart Is. I'm Jennifer DeSablo, your host for today's show. Franklin County Home Health Agency is your local nonprofit home health and hospice agency that has been providing care throughout Franklin County since 1969. Through this monthly show, we bring you information about our agency's programs and services, as well as helpful tips to help you and your loved ones stay safe and healthy at home. On today's program, we will be celebrating the work of our care attendants and those folks who have celebrated service milestones with Franklin County Home Health Agency. So my guests today are Sharon Anderson, care attendant, and Sallie Royea, a care attendant and LNA as well, right? So thank you, Sharon and Sallie, for being here today. And I will get to our conversation about the work that you do, but first I want to recognize those staff members who also reached other service milestones at Franklin County Home Health Agency this year. So every year in June, Franklin County Home Health celebrates our staff with a staff appreciation luncheon and offers service milestone pins to those individuals who reach 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30-year milestones with the agency. So we're very proud of the work that they've done. I want to recognize Crystal Sheridan, the medical billing specialist who's been with Franklin County Home Health Agency for 30 years. For 25 years, we're Sue O'Brien, Administrative Assistant, Lori Wright, Hospice Support, and nurses Connie Lane, Terry Poirier, and Veronica Wright. In 20 years, we're Charlene Barron, Speech Language Pathologist Assistant, Pauline Domina, LNA, Lisa Phillips, Clerical Support. 15 years, we're celebrating Carol Cook, Care Attendant, Annette Blanchard, a nurse, and Keith Franchetti, a Speech Language Pathologist. In 10 years, are Nancy DeLude, Hospice Volunteer Coordinator, April Pettingill, nurse, Sue Hunt, LNA, and care attendants Jeanette Candles, Lori Shalou, Kathy Evans, Debbie Austin, Darlene LaRose, Sharon Anderson, and Janice Hess. And celebrating 5 years of service were Mary Harward, Community Relations Coordinator, nurses Katie Larrabee and Mary Stewart Bullock, and care attendants Samantha Brace, Teresa Snyder, and Sallie Royea, who's here with us today. So that is a lot of folks celebrating service milestones, and at the agency we're so proud of folks who stay with us for such a long time and have that loyalty. So I want to thank you both for being with Franklin County Home Health as long as you have, and congratulate you on your 5 and 10-year pins this year. I also just want to mention too that every year at the Staff Appreciation Luncheon, our coworkers nominate a staff member for the Patricia A. Dean Make a Difference Award. And this year's recipient was Nancy DeLude, Volunteer Coordinator. Nancy was recognized for her tireless support in the agency fundraising efforts, for promotional events and community education, and support of the agency's childhood bereavement and hospice programs, and for her excellence and dedication in her role as a volunteer coordinator. So thank you as I went through that list, thanking all of your coworkers there. And I just, again, want to thank you for being here. And let's talk about what care attendants do at Franklin County Home Health Agency. So what brought the two of you to this type of work? Tell me about what you did maybe before your work at Home Health, and what made you choose Franklin County Home Health and this kind of work. Sallie, do you want to start?
Sure. I had the pleasure of family members that had home health care, and ended up, some of them I was caring for, and home health came in and really helped, took a big load off.
What kind of care were they receiving, if you don't mind?
Hospice eventually, but just care attendant, LNA baths, but the hospice part of it is amazing.
Yeah, so from personal experience, had you really known about Franklin County Home Health before your family needed the services? Or?
I had heard about it, but I didn't really know everything I needed to know.
Sure, yeah, that's very common. I think a lot of folks, like you said, once they need it, you learn what you need to know, and I'm glad it inspired you to give back and become a care attendant. So that was 5 years ago, right?
Yes, and it's for like all ages, because my cousin had cancer, and she used the service too, and it was amazing how they treated her and how much better she seemed. She had good spirits. So yeah.
It's special to be cared for at home. Yeah.
Yep.
What kind of stuff did you do before becoming a care attendant?
I ran my own daycare for 9 years out of my home.
So customer service, caring for people, come naturally to you?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
I just didn't want to be, I wanted to be out with the people and visit.
Yeah.
I was sick of being home.
Sure, yeah, so good. Well, this gets you out, right?
Yes, it does.
Good. And Sharon, talk about, you've been here for 10 years. Can you give me a little background about what you did before home health and what inspired you to become a care attendant?
I worked in an office for about 30 years and sat behind a computer. And my mother got to a point in her life where she needed care, and VNA provided home health. They had just begun to do that when she became very ill. And I just wanted to give something of myself and feel like I was contributing after seeing my mother and a lot of other elderly people having a need for care.
And like you said, this was many years ago when
Oh, yeah,
VNA was
that's
young. So this was Chittenden County, is that
Yes,
right? So we
yeah.
have, as a nonprofit, I'll just interject here, agency in Vermont. There are sister agencies, we like to say, in every county. So the same type of care, the nursing and right in the
Exactly.
home.
Yeah.
So they came and you were similar situation then, introduced to it through your family.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
great. So, and what made you choose home health in Franklin County when you decided looking for a different kind of work?
Well, I moved to Franklin County and I saw an ad in the paper. And I started out working part-time. I was working in a bank also. And then I got asked to work full-time, and that was a great opportunity for me to
Nice.
do this
And
full-time.
that's great, because there are, as you both know, we can talk about how much you work there, but there's a lot of flexible opportunities, part-time, kind of per diem in this work, or it
Exactly.
could be almost full-time, depending on the
Right.
caseload and the situation, if you're willing. That's really great. So again, you had years of service at the desk, but that's customer service.
Yes,
and
that's
that's
true.
really what you do still. I mean, we're providing personal care, but it's customer service is a big part of it. So thank you for finding. And you both live in Franklin County then, I understand.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's nice to be close to home and work in this community. Good. So care attendants make up about 40% of all of our staff. We have about 185 people on staff, and this is our largest group for a discipline. So you provide a lot of the hours that we offer in Franklin County. Let's talk about what your job entails. And I know it's varied. I know it changes from client to client in person, but can you give me some information about the type of care you're providing to patients currently, Sally?
I'm doing personal care, assisting with showers. If it's to assist, there's two of us. Feeding tubes, Hoyers, meal prep, or if they got to go somewhere, they have to be taken to the doctors, or laundry, light housekeeping.
So when I had said earlier that you're also an LNA, some of our care attendants have an LNA license. Does that enable you to do some more of that personal care, or how does that differentiate?
I'm level 4, so once they come in and delegate me, I usually do pretty much everything until I have to call the nurse.
So a nurse comes in and
So the nurse
delegates
can come in and delegate me. Yep.
Okay.
But I find it's sometimes it can be challenging, but I like a good challenge.
Yeah.
And every day is different.
Yeah.
Every day.
I'm sure you can agree, Sharon. You're nodding your head. Yeah. And you do some of the similar things that Sally's doing?
Yes, I do. I provide companionship
That's important.
when requested. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people live all alone. They have no family, and they just need someone to talk to, take them shopping, cook meals. And I love to cook, so that's fun for me. But I do a lot, mainly with Alzheimer patients. I really enjoy that part of my job.
Yeah, that's a growing need in our community, and we're lucky. We have one of our social workers. She's been on the show with me before. Amanda Wilson is really integral in the new Franklin County Dementia Care Coalition here in Franklin County. So I hope you can connect with her, or you probably do with the agency about resources for Alzheimer's disease. That's a really special care. Can you talk to us a little bit about maybe some of the techniques or tactics you've used in homes that help someone with dementia or Alzheimer's disease?
Well, I think one of the main things is being a calm person, and they seem to be able to sense when you're upset or anxious. So you have to have a calm demeanor, and also depending on the stage that they're in, you can't leave them alone for a second. They can move really quick, and most of them, a lot of them, take falls, and we want to prevent them from getting hurt. So
Yeah, well, and I'm glad you mentioned the falls, and that's one of the goals at the agency is preventing falls for any individual, but that's a really vulnerable population, like you said. And
yes,
the work that you guys are doing as care attendants, being able to be in a home so often, you can see those risks for
Yes.
falling. So I'm sure you've been trained in what to look for and how to help people.
And a lot of times we can call and say, can you come in and make sure this is safe?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
there's something not that you think might not be, shouldn't be there or
So you
needs
can
to be
call
moved.
a nurse or the therapist at home health.
And they'll come right out and say, okay, you know, yes, this is all right, or no, we need to figure out something else.
Yeah. And I think, we've done some shows before where they talked about falls, and like I said, when you talk about doing housekeeping and meal prep, I think people don't think so much of how far that goes into protecting someone, because you can make sure the floors are clear of fall
yeah.
things. You're cooking a meal that they might have tripped if they're in the kitchen working. So it goes beyond getting a meal and keeping a house clean is very important, but it goes beyond that with their health and
because
their
they like to
safety.
come and check when you're cooking and see
Sure.
what you're doing, and
Yeah.
the stove is hot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to-
Yep. Watch those
I
things.
found a lot of times, with Alzheimer's, dementia, and other, that they got to have the one-on-one.
Yeah.
And you throw just one more person in, so you kind of have to like switch gears a little bit. I take over, or you have the other one,
Yeah.
whoever's there with you, take over, and then it kind of
Focus.
they can focus more on just the one. It's when there's another person,
It's distracting.
it's
sure.
very distracting to them. They can't
Yeah.
figure out what they want to do
Yeah, that's a good point.
or what they're supposed to do.
Sure, yeah. So talk a little bit about that, about your relationships with clients. So you're talking about being in there for a long time, getting to know an individual. So of course, in a situation with someone with a dementia, knowing you, like you said, or the one person, keeping consistency is important. But talk about that relationship of knowing your clients and seeing the same person day in and day out. How does that impact your work or impact their care?
I think it impacts their care because you know them better. And the other thing is if you take your work to heart, you realize how rewarding it really is. They can just say something to you, something simple, and you think, oh my goodness. Like I had a client tell me, you know something, Sal, you're my best friend. And it just hit me,
Yeah.
because you work with them all the time, and you wonder if they really understand some of what you say. And then when they say something like that, you think, well, I really do make a difference. Yeah,
You really do.
I really do make a difference. So.
Yeah. You had some experiences like that, Sharon, that make you feel good about that?
Well, yes, I think it's very important to build a trust with them, because you're going into their homes and you need to follow their rules and do things the way they would like them done, if they're able to tell you.
Right.
But it's very difficult for someone who's always been very independent to have a stranger come in and start helping them with personal,
Oh, yeah.
taking a shower, washing and combing their hair, brushing their teeth. It's very difficult.
Something that they've managed their whole life and now
Yes.
need help with. It takes a lot of compassion
Right.
and trust. You're right. That's a really good point. And we're glad to have the type of people who can do that with such respect and compassion. I appreciate that. Yeah. Do you work with their family members at all and have some relationship with individuals' families, or is it primarily one-on-one for you?
With me, no, I have a relationship with the family because we talk to tell each other when I'm going in the morning. They tell me, this is going on, or this is what happened. Even though we have a book, we keep a journal in some of my clients. We always talk, or at the end of the day, if something's going on, I'll say something just don't seem, that something don't seem right, something's off, and something might be brewing, they might be coming down with something. But if you work with them a lot, you can tell when something's going on. And yeah,
The family appreciates
and-
that communication.
yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Talk a little bit about, in long-term care, we serve adults with disabilities and an elderly population. So what type of clients are you seeing? What kind of conditions do your clients have, or age-wise?
I have I'm trying to think the ages.
Oh, that you don't have to be specific.
I have a couple in their 60s, and I have one in his 50s, and one of my clients can't walk and has seizures. So every day is a challenge, but they make it. I try to make it the best that they can have it, and if they're having a good day, I try to do something different with them every day, because you wouldn't think that something little like going for a ride or going to Walmart is very much, but I'll hear it for a week and a half after I've taken them. Yeah. I went to Walmart and I bought this all by myself. It's so amazing that they can take something that you would say, oh, I really don't want to go to Walmart today, but you take them and it really makes a difference.
That's
wonderful. So you'll hear, and their family will be like, you took them to Walmart.
Yeah.
Because they tell everybody.
Sure.
Tell everybody about it.
That's great. That's good. Yeah, it's sometimes it's those little things that to an individual
goes a long ways.
At home independently, that's a big deal. That's great. Yeah. Yes. Similar situations for you, or?
Most of my clients that have dementia and Alzheimer's are homebound.
Yeah.
It gets to that point where they don't leave their house, which makes it a little stressful too, because you're confined to what you can do with them.
Yeah, and at least in I know in those situations when you can be at home, and at least the surroundings familiar to those clients, so that goes a long way.
They need that.
They need that surrounding. Yeah. Talk about, switch gears just a little bit, talking about sort of your history again in 5 and 10 years. Things change, some things stay the same. What kind of changes have you seen in your work in the agency or community? What kind of changes have you seen while you've been a care attendant?
The younger generation needing care. And with the agency, I think the best thing that we've done is the monthly meetings, because I try to take it in like a sponge and use it where I can in my day.
And you mean some of the monthly trainings that
they have with, like the Alzheimer's training, slip and falls, ways to exercise or ways not to do something.
To keep your body safe
and keep
too.
myself safe along with the client. Yeah, I think it's very helpful.
Yeah. And do you get Connie's cookies at all those meetings too? She brings in cookies. That's good. I'm glad. Yeah, that's something Sharon and I were talking earlier. We didn't used to have many of those opportunities, and now at home health, care attendants can have monthly trainings. So it gives you a chance to get to know each other, to offer ideas, and but like you said, to take some really useful information
and use it
in your
day.
Yeah, that's great. What kind of changes have you seen in 10 years, Sharon?
Gee, there's been a lot. A lot of the clients that I have are younger than I am, a lot younger. Yeah. And I guess it makes me very grateful that I still have my health, and I can do what I do for them. Yeah. And home health is very supportive. I know I have to mention Bobby and Carol, the 2 nurse supervisors who are so awesome. If I have a question, I don't do much with Tammy, but Bobby and Carol are always ready to help answer a question, and if they don't know the answer, they'll try to get it for us.
That's good. So. And also, let's mention the schedulers. So.
Oh yes, Melody and Julie. Yeah,
Melody,
they're really.
She made it possible for me to be
here
today.
I thank them. And let's talk about the schedulers. You've probably seen the changes in 10 years, Sharon, of how scheduling works now and how reporting your time. Talk about technology and how was that switching over from paper timesheets to telephone?
Yeah, in the beginning everything was done with paper, and of course I've had a lot of experience with computers, so when they switched to computers and we do everything, we call in with our time and the jobs that we've done, I think a lot of people had trouble adjusting because a lot of people don't have computers. But there again, home health would have them come in the office and work with them to.
Yeah, and it's been really helpful. I know I've done some scheduling myself with the computer system. We can track, we know where you are, and it's really helpful when we need to communicate during the day, because you do a lot of communicating with your schedulers and your nurse supervisors during the day. So you work independently. You go out and you drive your car and you go around the county, but you are not alone, right? So you feel like you're connected with the staff at the office and the other folks that you work with. I'm sure in your cases you're working with other staff providers, nursing, LNAs, and how does that work in a client's home?
Physical therapy, speech and language.
Yeah. That's a
everything.
good team effort.
Yeah.
That's really great. What about, just before we start wrapping up, tell me a little bit about some of your favorite memories or your favorite part of being a care attendant or working at Franklin County Home Health Agency.
I love to get out and meet new people.
Yeah. Where do you drive in the county? Do you stay in one town or?
No. I work Richford area. I did work Enosburg area, Swanton. But those are my main towns that I work in. But I could be all over.
Sure.
You know, if I get a cancellation or. But I was hired 5 years ago for 18 to 20 hours. And I think I worked out 1 week because I wanted more.
Well, it's a flexible position, so if you don't have more, you can do what you can, but if you can do more.
But if you want more, I mean, you might be hired for that little bit of time and want more, and you will definitely get it if you want it. It just takes time.
Are you surprised or not surprised that you're still here in 5 or 10 years? How do you feel?
I'm not really that surprised.
Yeah, good.
Because I like what I do. If you enjoy what you do, what's the sense then? Changing.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy, like I said, meeting new people, and every house you walk into is different. You got to change gears, but it works.
Yeah.
And people are always, 90% of the time, they're so happy to see you.
Yeah.
You know.
That's good.
So.
Great. And Sharon, what are some of your favorite aspects of working here?
Oh, I think Franklin County Home Health is very flexible, and that's important not only to me but especially young women that have children at home. I've had a lot of clients that I've had for many years that have passed away, and it's always really sad. You become close after caring for them for so long.
Yeah.
But,
talk about what happens when someone passes. How does the agency support that for you?
Usually we have a person, or whoever can, usually tries to attend the funeral to show our support and caring.
Like I said, that's a natural part of caring for individuals at the end of life with hospice or in any of the programs we have. That is a reality, and there's many resources available for you to chat with bereavement counselors and things as well, because it is a relationship that you build. It's a professional relationship, but you can't help but get to know somebody.
Yeah,
and a lot of us I've taken the hospice training, and I have done some.
Yeah, good.
But I think a lot of the care attendants have taken the training.
Yeah, that's good.
Are available.
Wonderful. So we'll be wrapping up soon. Anything else you wanted to add before we close? What you might say to an individual considering working in home care?
I would encourage anyone that's ever had to deal with taking care of family members or trying to find someone to care for them and have some free time to stop by home health and talk to someone about employment.
At least try it.
Yeah.
Try it before you say that you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like you said, folks who've had some of that experience like you did, caring for somebody and bringing that care forward to our community. Well, thank you, ladies. Again, congratulations on your years of service. I hope you have very many more serving our community. We really appreciate the work you do. And before we close, I just want to update folks on some news items happening at Franklin County Home Health Agency. All through July, the Hannafords in Swanton is benefiting our agency with the reusable bags. The sale of their Good Karma bags benefits Franklin County Home Health Agency. Every bag sold earns us $1. So if you're in Swanton, stop by the Hannafords there and pick up one of those blue bags. Also, we are getting ready for our Blue Jean Ball, which is scheduled for October 22nd at the American Legion. You can learn more information about that on our Facebook page. We'll have event information there. We are also collecting auction items for that because we do a silent and live auction. So if you're a business interested in helping with that, we would love to hear from you. We are conducting a quilt raffle. The winner of the quilt raffle will be drawn at the Blue Jean Ball, and that quilt raffle is going around our community at different farmers markets and events this summer, so keep an eye out for that. It's very beautiful. We have some great job opportunities, as Sharon and Sallie encourage you to check out our website or call us at 527-7531 and consider working at Franklin County Home Health Agency. So again, you can learn more information about our agency's programs and services by calling us at 527-7531 or visiting us at www.fchha.org and liking us on Facebook. Please contact us if you have any questions about how we could help you or a loved one stay safe and healthy at home. Thank you for watching. Be well.